As you may know, back in the fall I got the newly released Apple Watch SE to replace my old Series 1. I got the space gray 44mm Nike Plus variant with the white and black Nike Sport Band. I've been using it for a while now and I'm ready to give my thoughts. This is William from Wink Tech and welcome to my full review of the Apple Watch SE. To start off, let's talk about the design. The SE follows the same design as the Series 4 and later, with the only difference being a lack of an ECG sensor on the digital crown. In comparison with the older Apple Watch design, the bezels are smaller and the body is more round to allow for a much bigger screen while having a very similar footprint. The SE comes in aluminum only with 3 colors to choose from: space gray, silver, and gold. You can get either the 40mm or 44mm sizes, and the bands from the 38mm and 42mm are also compatible with the new ones, which is nice if you're upgrading so you can continue to use your old band. The back is made of stainless steel and has an improved heart rate sensor from the old design. One subtle design change is the recessed power button. I really like the change because on my Series 1 I would constantly take accidental screenshots or almost call emergency services with my wrist. Thankfully, this no longer happens with the new design. Next, let's look at performance. Compared to the Series 1 or even Series 3, the performance is a huge leap. Loading times are basically non-existent with apps, scrolling through apps like iMessage or News is very smooth, and you can open web pages relatively fast, which is impressive for such a small, low-powered device. The SE comes with 32GB of storage to store plenty of apps and music, and it's sporting the S5 chip from the Series 5. Which is still really fast and should support updates for many years. The speakers are quite loud and plenty good for a brief phone call and for notifications. The mic sounds excellent as well and can even be used to make recordings on the go. For everyday tasks, the Apple Watch flies through them, unlike my Series 1, where some things were just a pain to do because it was too slow, such as iMessage or scrolling through apps in general. Things I use my Apple Watch for are notifications primarily, for fitness, and sometimes Fitness Plus, which, by the way, if you buy a new Apple Watch you get 3 months free. I also use it for iMessage if my phone is not on me or I just need to send a quick reply, and music with my AirPods Pro. The SE works great with AirPods, and if you're like me and have the Pros, then on the watch on the Now Playing app you can tap the little streaming icon in the bottom left and switch between transparency and noise cancelling modes. With the SE and watchOS 7, there are a couple new features that are nice to have, such as sleep tracking if you're into that, and emojis, some new watch faces, and exclusive Nike ones if you decide to get that one, as well as some minor app tweaks and the movement away from Force Touch. I thought that I would miss Force Touch a lot, but it turns out I don't. Instead, long presses and swipes are used, and if I had to guess, this helps the newer Apple Watches get much better battery life. Speaking of battery life, I could get 2 days consistently and possibly more if I conserve power. Although I normally charge my watch at night, my battery rarely goes below 40%. Be aware that if you opt to get the cellular model, the battery most likely won't last more than a day since it uses a lot of battery for data and such. I also recommend optimized charging in order to preserve battery health in the long term. Another big feature on the SE is an always-on altimeter. This feature isn't super useful for everyone, but if you do a lot of biking and running workouts, it is very helpful for getting accurate altitude information, something that wasn't so accurate on older watch models. It does also have GPS and water resistant, which is standard now but wasn't on my Series 1 for example. So if you're upgrading from a first gen, Series 1 or Series 2, then you will really start to notice the benefit here, especially for tracking activity. Other smaller features include noise tracking, which makes sure you aren't listening to loud noise for prolonged periods of time. Hand washing detection to make sure you wash your hands for 20 seconds, especially when you have been out in public, and fall detection, which will call emergency services if you've taken a hard fall and don't respond on the watch. Finally, let's talk about the trade-offs you're making with the Series 6, just in case you're still on the fence with whether you want to get the Series 6 or SE. The most obvious difference is the lack of ECG and blood oxygen sensors. Personally, I don't need these features since I'm not too serious about the metrics besides heart rate, and I don't have any health problems that I know of. However, if you have known health problems, especially with your heart, the Series 6 may help catch problems early. Another trade-off that some people may care about is the always-on display. I don't really care about it because 1, not having it on preserves the battery, and 2, Apple Watches have really good detection for when you raise your wrist, so I can still glance at the time quickly. The last trade-off is performance. I have not had the chance to try the Series 6, but I can't imagine the Series 6 being much faster than the Series 5, since the Series 5 is already so fast. The only benefit might be that it will get more software updates, but it won't be by much. If you care a lot about any of these things, then you definitely should go for the Series 6, but if you don't, then you might as well save the money and get the Apple Watch SE. In my opinion, the Apple Watch is one of the best accessories you can have with an iPhone, and the Apple Watch SE is the best value yet with great performance, a beautiful design, a wide selection of bands, and some of the best fitness tracking on the market. I promise you won't be disappointed with the SE. Well, that's about it for this review. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, and I'm curious, do you have an Apple Watch and are looking to upgrade? If so, leave a comment and subscribe if you'd like to see more content just like this. Anyway, this has been William from Wing Tech, and I'll see you in the next video.